Hail Biafra! This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment. Prime Minister, he said this issue is a very complicated issue. Biafra inquired the wrath of world powers. I know he's meeting some people. We know that. But then, it's always seeming impossible to get Biafra. But that which we don't know what to do, how to do it, is there glaring at us. And that is why we must follow who know road. Yes, Mazi tried, brought us to this point. We have moved from where he left us to another level, the dimension he's talking about. Please key in, listen, share, stay glued, and subscribe. Thank you.
Today, the power that be depriving Biafra people the freedom they merited has succeeded in planting hatred, greed among Biafrans, especially those that represent Nigeria within Biafra territory. Many of those believe that Biafra is dead. But today, we have proven them wrong. That out of greed, wickedness, jealousy, and selfishness, they succumb to the narrative of the power that corrupted Nigeria. And today they sing with one voice that Biafra is dead. We have disappointed them. The fact remains that Biafra was the first African post-colonial state, in that it was not based on some former administrative unit of imperialism. Fellow Biafrans, in April 2023, Biafra restored its exile government, which was ratified by the adoption of the Declaration of 2023 and Biafra Charter. The restoration of the Biafra Republic government in exile and the Helsinki Declaration has reaffirmed the independence of Biafra. When the Biafra-Nigeria genocidal war ended in 1970, many of those who fought the war fled into exile. In 1999, the Biafra agitation resurfaced again. In 2007, a new exile government was formed. It was collapsed, remained dormant. In 2023, we restored the Biafra exile government. I want you to understand today that whatever the government has done is in accordance with international law. The definitive goals and the purpose of the Biafra Republic government in exile have been made public both in the media and in the print media, and also have been communicated to many countries of the world. Our goals and our purpose is to secure the freedom and liberty of the Biafra people. Our goal and objectives to represent the sovereignty and the interests of the Biafra throughout the world. The objective and purpose of the Biafra Republic government in exile is to engage in international relationship and diplomacy with the government, state, nations, and organizations. The objectives and the purpose and goals of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile is to organize for the security of the people of Biafra, their properties and land, and the people that inhabit every territorial part of Biafra land. Our goals remain to obtain diplomatic recognitions for the sovereign state of Biafra. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile goals, objective, and purpose is to organize the negotiation of trade and other economic activities on behalf of the people of Biafra. My fellow citizens all over the world, in order to achieve these goals, objective, and purpose, we have created the 40th state of the United States of Biafra in the homeland. We have activated the de facto government of Biafra in the homeland. We have established the Bank of Biafra. We have established the Biafra digital currency, among other departments and other governmental institutions, in accordance with international law, especially the 1933 of Montevideo Convention. It is also not unusual for there to be a period of years between exile and declaration of an exile government. We have had similar cases like that of the de facto Republic of Serbia. They went into exile in 1997, and the government was declared in 2005. And the case of the Turkestan Republic, the gap is far longer, with the exile government in 1949 and the declaration only in 2004. My fellow citizens, domiciled all over the world, fellow Biafrans and friends, well-wishers today, a legitimate government is the one that flows from a recognized state, as opposed to so many so-called government in exile. That is in reality a liberation movement. The good news today is that the Biafra Republic Government in Exile status has gone beyond a liberation movement under international law. As a result of the recognition from 5 different countries in Africa, which has never been withdrawn by those countries that recognized Biafra. This particular recognition made the status of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile not just a liberation movement, but a legitimate and a recognized government with a special status under international law. My fellow Biafrans, many experts on international law have opined that for an authority in exile to qualify as a government in international law, there are criteria which the government must meet and fulfill. We believe the Biafra Republic Government in Exile has met all those requirements. And I would like to take us a little bit on history. It is very imperative. Let's look at the precedents of history of government in exile. My fellow citizens, there are indeed precedents for government that achieve sovereignty during times of strife, obtained limited international recognition, went into exile, and were succeeded by declared exile government, and then eventually become independent and member state of the United Nations. I will take you to a journey of Slovakia. Slovakia was an independent state from 1939 to 1945. Slovakia was recognized by 29 different countries during that time. Following Slovakia's reintegration with Czechoslovakia in 1945, the former Interior Minister of Slovakia, Dukansky, set up a government in exile in 1947, which went through several transformations, just like the Biafra people today. As an exile government, the Liberation Committee was part of the Slovakia exile government, the Liberation Council, and finally the Slovak Congress, all advocating for independence, just like you have in the Biafra today. The same people, ironically, who went through this process today will tell you how Biafrans are not united, because we have different groups fighting for the same goal, which is the freedom of Biafra. In 1992, independence was achieved by the legislation when Czechoslovakia ceased to exist. Slovakia in 1938 to 1945 was viewed by the Allied nation as a German puppet state. The various Slovakian exile government and committee were not recognized by any single country, though doubtably many doubted whether they are going to have their independence or they achieved some sponsorship from the United States. That was during the Cold War. My fellow Biafrans, it is very imperative that you know the history of this world. How many people that you look up to today, many nations that you look up to today, they were there in the past. I will then take you to a history, the journey to Ukraine. Ukraine is again going through the second phase, the most brutal phase in the history of mankind. Ukraine was an independent state from 1917 to 1922 and was recognized by at least 18 countries, including the Holy See, Russia, Germany, Turkey, and Austria. The head of the government, Simon Petliura, went on exile, declared an exile government, and was assassinated in 1926 in Paris by a Soviet agent when there was Soviet Union. In 1941, an independent state of Ukraine was briefly declared and then suppressed by Germany. Germany, not Russia. The unrecognized government in exile persisted until Ukraine again became an independent state in 1991. From 1941 to 1991, Ukraine again became an independent state. The Ukrainian government, under the former president Shevchenko, over the protest of pro-Russian element, recognized exile leaders and the 1917 and 41 government as predecessors and precursors to the current state. The trend of Ukraine nationalism has further intensified under the present regime. Today, Ukraine is at war of independence again. I want you to understand the history in this world. Every nation have undergone a very, very terrible situation. From 1941 to 1991. My fellow Biafrans, if you do not understand history, you will not be a good revolutionist. You can never understand how you are going to fight for the liberation of your people. This is what the Biafra government is doing because we know the history. Not only that we know the history, we know our right. I want to take you to a journey to another nation called Croatia. Croatia achieved independence from 1941 to 1945. I want you to understand that the countries I am mentioning today did not actually have their independence completely from the beginning. Rather, they went through the same process with Biafra. Biafra had independence from 1967 to 1970. Croatia had independence from 1941 to 1945. During the excesses of the Second World War, when secessionists, exile assumed leadership of the country upon fall of Yugoslavia to the axis of power. Like Slovakia, many countries consider Croatia as a puppet state. Yet, it was recognized by not only the Axis state, but also by neutral Spain. Following the end of the war, an exile government was declared in 1951 by the former leader of Croatia, Ante Pavelic, and his surviving government ministers. In 1956, the exile government became a liberation movement and was instrumental in the eventual independence of Croatia from Yugoslavia in 1991. I want you to look and check the time frame when this country succeed after everything they have done. My fellow Biafran, Biafra is not going to be exceptional. We are not going to be an exception. Our right will not be exempted. Our freedom will not be exempted. We will get our freedom just like Croatia, Slovakia, Ukraine, and many more. Today, the message I brought to Biafra people is a liberation message. We have breaking the camel's back. The jinx holding Biafra for decades is broken. My fellow citizens of Biafra, taking refuge in exile, and those of you that are privileged to be in the homeland, de facto government today, going through the process and the achievement of the Biafra government today, I wish to officially announce the unveiling of the Biafra Bank, officially Bank of Biafra. And also announcing the launching of the Biafra coin, the digital currency, Ejema, the USBT. We made a promise to Biafra people that the Biafra coin called USBT will be equal to $1. The process of this is not something that is very difficult to understand. Many of you back home already know what is cryptocurrency. You only need a MetaMask to be able to benefit from the Biafra Bank and Biafra coin. My fellow Biafran, the website of the Biafra Bank, the Bank of Biafra, will be made public immediately after the addressing, after this State of the Union address. As we are getting ready to declare Biafra this year, I want everybody to pay attention. We said Biafra will be declared this year. The declaration is the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. We have declared Biafra in exile, restoring the Biafra government in exile. The next phase is to go forward to restore the Biafra government and independent state of Biafra after the result of from the ongoing self-referendum. I would like to remind every one of you that you have enough to benefit from the Biafra Bank, from the Bank of Biafra, especially using the digital currency, Biafra coin. That is what they call staking. The staking, the Bank of Biafra offers 18% interest in staking, while many platforms offers you, for example, as low as 5%. The Bank of Biafra is offering Biafra people 18%. And what it means is that as Naira has collapsed and crashed, the government of Biafra has provided an alternative to Biafra people. So you do not leave your money in Naira. As you buy Biafra coin, your money becomes stable. Any day you want to withdraw your money, you get your money withdrawn through the crypto system. For those of you who already are very conversant with cryptocurrency, you already know what to do by downloading a MetaMask. From MetaMask, you will have access to Biafra Bank. We have broken the jinx. The camel's back is broken. And fellow Biafrans, to cap with the progress we've made so far, Biafra Republic Government in Exile Cabinet met yesterday and voted for the establishment of the Ministry of Aviation of the United States of Biafra. I hereby wish to officially announce to the Biafra people the establishment of the Biafra Ministry of Aviation.
Wonderful! There are so many and tremendous achievements that Biafra government has done courtesy of our Prime Minister Simon Eba. Anung pam pampi. In fact, we don't even know what to say, but then, ụmụkwara ihe karịa Nigeria, nke a karịa Nigeria. This particular one is bigger than Nigeria. Yes. Ịma ndị Igbo ada balanced. That entrepreneurial spirit is always keeping us ahead of our enemies. Even when you package Igbo person and put the Igbo person in dustbin, from that dustbin you will create fuel and you will create gas, and you will still come and buy that gas from that dustbin, and that he will lead. Instead of you leading him, he will lead you. Check out what is happening in commerce in Nigeria now. Yes, they are in fixed point where they are now looking around to see if there is any Igbo person they will give this appointment to come and restore their naira which has damaged. And they don't know that aka chukwu dị na the damage of naira. Aka Chineke dị ya. Yes, Nigeria must continue to go down until ha be kwa ha ga-ebe ka ewu, ha ga-eti mana enweghị ga n'olu ha. It will get to that. Reason being that the injustices in Nigeria is in the heights. God, you see, God of heaven is God of justice. And he will give the wicked a very long rope, very, very long time to oppress. And we have seen how much they can oppress. They oppress to the point of seizing our money. They oppress to the point of making sure that people don't eat 3 times a day. They oppress to the point of reducing the quality of food people eat. They oppress to the point that people will not even talk about building now. They only talk about food as if there is war. Of course, there is war going on. Go to Delta State, you will confirm what I'm talking about. You go down to Southeast, go to Osumohu, go to Okigwe, even go to Olo. You see things happening. Troops of military going in areas, killing, maiming, destroying, burning down shops, and shouting at top of your voices, not knowing that they are being recorded. They are on record. For people that will ask, when was there war? And we did not know. We'll show them the pictures. We have evidence. We have many evidences. And we must have to give God the glory, because wisdom, strength belongs to God. All power belongs to God. Chukwukike Abiyama will not be removed in these achievements. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, anywhere you are, know that what you taught us, we picked it and we are moving with it. Had it been you in that your detention where you are right now, they told you that nobody is talking about Biafra again, I know that will break your heart more. But in as much as you heard that somebody is in the forefront leading and calling that Biafra every time, I know you will know that these people learned from you. We are not giving up Biafra. No, not now, not tomorrow, not forever. And that's it. I urge every one of you to please help us to share, help us to like, and also help us to subscribe. Thank you very much.